Okay. Hello everyone. Thank you so much for coming today. Sorry for the late start. It was a combination of things. First thing was that Nasui Sensei was doing his live stream, and there was a lot of new people, so he had to answer all of their questions and comments. They were like heavy comments too, like they were about heavy issues, like loss of a loved one. So like there was no time to like cut someone off, so it took a bit of time. Second thing was another issue with technical things, which seems to be a problem lately, but it's okay. And third thing is that today is the monthly ceremony, so I was trying to prepare everything for that as well, but it's all good now. But yes, so hi Tifa-san, welcome. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you so much everyone for your support always. So today we only have about like 30 minutes, but that's okay because I wanted to talk about just kind of like news, I guess, like in the kind of like shrine world, if that makes sense. So this like week in the like shrine world, um, like there was kind of a lot of like drama, I guess. I don't know if drama is the right word or like tea or however you would say it, controversy, but like on Twitter and stuff, like mostly most of the time, like Shinto priests are either active on like Facebook or they're active on Twitter, like online. And the priests on Facebook are usually very like wholesome and like kind and like gentle, or like kind of more traditional. But then the priests on Twitter are really like they can be really spicy and stuff. Hi, Vinny-san, welcome. Um, So basically, what was happening this week was that like a lot of people were talking about like Fushimi Naritaisha, like all the tourists at the shrine and like how they were disrespecting the space and like this is pretty like common news. But then like people were sharing a video of this guy, and he was like carving his name into the bamboo, and I think it was like very sensationalized because it was like the first time like someone had really like captured like someone like just doing that to the shrine ground. And all of Twitter was like all of Japanese Twitter was like, oh my gosh, he's gonna get like tatari and he's gonna get cursed, and like his whole family might die and like all this stuff. And then there was other people who were like, no, don't say that about like Inari Okami-sama. Like Inari Okami-sama is like really kind Kami-sama, and like they wouldn't hurt someone who didn't know better. And like there were so many mixed opinions like all across Twitter. And then some people, even priests, were saying like, like Inari Okami-sama started as like kind of like a like an aggressive Kami-sama. Like I don't know how to explain it, but like for example, like when at the foundation of Fushimi Taisha, like when they shot the mochi with the arrow and then it turned into a white bird, it was kind of like symbolic of like blessings flying away because they disrespected the food. Um, so anyway, it was just a whole bunch of like controversy, and I guess I kind of wanted to talk about it today because it's like I think it's emblematic of like pretty much like how like the Shinto Japanese religious sphere works is like there's so many different opinions and there's so many different perspectives and there's so many different understandings that they're all like coming together at one in one space over like the same topic. And technically like no one's really wrong. Like that's the thing too. Like no one is right and no one is wrong. Because everything's really multifaceted. So wait, let me see the comments. Oh, hello. I'm glad you're watching Master Sensei stream. Thank you for coming to watch, and thank you for coming here too. Highlight. Hello. Hello, Ryzen. Welcome. Alex says this is why I stay away from Shinto on Twitter or Twitter in general. Yes, it's a good idea to be honest. Um. Oh, your channel also got my interest. So it's my first time leaving a comment here. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. Thank you so much for coming. Yes, same shrine. We're both here, so welcome, welcome. Thank you so much. But yeah, so like why I wanted to talk about this today is because it's really emblematic of like the community as a whole. But also like how to explain this? Like, I think people like in Japan, they kind of tend to like, how to explain this? So like there's kind of like two sides of people of understanding kamisama. So like one side understands kamisama as like these like fearful, powerful forces that if you cross them, they will like bring tatari upon you and they will bring like punishment upon you. So you have to respect them because they're scary like this. And then there's another side of people who are saying like, no, like kamisama are very gentle and they're very kind and they've like helped me and supported me, and they would never hurt like sincere people, and they would never be so like petty and like vengeful and things like that. So there's kind of like these two sides. But like when you zoom out and you look at it from a broader perspective, you can understand like both sides are not incorrect. Both of them are correct in their own way. And like how we understand this is like from the Nigimitama and the Arimitama. So like Nigimitama is like the gentle, calm side of nature. Like the sun that gives life and the oceans that are calm and beautiful, and like a nice breezy, perfect day. And then Aramitama is kind of like the violent, rough side of nature, like droughts, natural disasters, forest fires, even just like the violence within like animals and like humans, like that can be, and like anger and things like that. That's like Aramitama, and they're both part of Kamisama. So like no one's really wrong. That's what I'm trying to say. But the thing that I wanted to say is that like it's important not to kind of like so the thing is that like even though people who understand kamisama more on the aramitama side, the rough side, like they're not wrong, but it's important, I feel, that we kind of like be careful, or like maybe not necessarily us, but like people who understand kamisama to like be careful when talking about it, because you don't want to like go into like fear mongering, right? Like you don't want to say like, or you don't want to give the impression that like kamisama is like petty or like would hurt someone just for something small, basically. You know what I mean? And like it's and like I'm not saying that like the traditional ways are like that or they explain things like that, but I feel like it's very like a modern phenomenon, especially like online and even outside of Shinto, where it's like if you do something bad, then people are saying like, oh well, like the kamisama, the gods are like gonna get them, and they're gonna like suffer for it and things like that. And that's like completely understandable. And sometimes like people really do deserve to like face the consequences of their actions. I'm not saying that's not true, but I guess it's important to kind of remember not to kind of go in the path of like fear mongering, and like making kamisama like a only a scary existence, or like an existence that will like get angry at like mistakes or like little things. Because even if you like even if the person feels safe one day, like even if they think, oh, I'm on kamisama's good side today, right now, in the future, like having that mindset, if something goes wrong, then you might think, um, something bad happened to me is because kamisama is making me like punishing me, and kamisama doesn't like me, or like kamisama hates me or something like that. And it's important not to like immediately jump to that conclusion when something bad happens in life, because then it will push you away from kamisama and it will cut your connection with kamisama, which is very bad. Because if things are actually going bad and it's not like tatari or anything like that, which is very rare, like tatari and like batsu, like punishment or like divine like anger towards you, is like very rare, I would say. And if it does happen, like you will know, like for sure, like it will be very clear to the person. Like it's not just like generally like suffering, and it's not like really horrible. Like usually it's like it's not like really horrible things like abuse or or like ongoing suffering, it's usually like very obvious. Like it's like maybe it's like a severe illness, or maybe it's like a particular incident that is related to the offense that you've done. For example, like with Inario Kami-sama, it's usually like fires or something. Or like with Konjin Sama, it's like, the seven killings of Konjin, which are like super scary. But you would know if that was Konjin Sama's Tatari, because it's very like there's like a particular pattern to these things, to Tatari, and to Kami-sama's like, consequences to your actions. But if it's like, I don't know, like maybe you're just having a streak of bad luck, or like things aren't going really well, you can't attribute everything going bad to Kami-sama being angry at you, because again, like you're gonna like we need to build a connection with Kami-sama, and the more we build that connection with Kami-sama, the more that like we can manifest and receive blessings, and like have that connection together, and like work towards building more blessings in our lives and sharing that with others. But if like someone is always thinking that Kami-sama is so like volatile, that they would like be very curseful or like vengeful for like everything, um, it can lead to like very like spiral like toxic thinking. So it's important to keep the balance, to understand Kami-sama's both Nigimitama and Aremitama. And if you're respectful, and if you're sincere, and if you're doing your best, like Kami-sama won't just randomly punish you for like a mistake, like things like that. But again, like if you're like purposely like, you know, trying, or like if you're purposely like, you're doing something wrong, but you're like maybe it's gonna be okay, or like, or you don't ask Kami-sama, you just try to do something by yourself, or like, there's different kinds of circumstances, but and that can lead to tatari. But you can also always like resolve or like clear the tatari. It's not like you're cursed forever. You know what I mean? It's kind of like it's complicated. Like it's not simple to just like it's not as straightforward as the people on Shinto Twitter are saying. And on top of that, I said it in a few streams before, but like tatari itself is also kind of like it's kind of like cause and effect, where it's like when you do something and the consequences come immediately back to you. It's kind of like a many priests kind of explain it like a home security system. So if you break into the house, the alarm will immediately go off. At tatari is kind of like that. When you break or you cause an offense, you break a rule, or you cause an offense to kamisama, then the tatari will like immediately come, because it's like an automatic consequence of those actions. And then at that point, like the only being that can stop the tatari is kamisama. So either way, like it's important to stay close to kamisama, and like ask for them to forgive us, and have that connection rather than just fearing them. Like recognizing their power and recognizing the Aramitama, but not like being in fear of it, but showing respect, if that makes sense. You know, so I just kind of wanted to talk about that, because I did feel really bad, because there's a lot of people who were saying like, "Oh, Inario Kami-sama is so like vengeful and like evil, and like they're so like the fox spirits, and like all this like uwasa, like gossip and rumor, and like all this stuff." And I felt so sad, because like Inario Kami-sama is like so much more than that. Like they're the spark of life. They provide us with food. Like their essence is sustaining our lives through food and like clothing and all these things. And it feels so sad to hear like people talk about Inario Kami-sama like that. And it reminds me of like, how people would talk about Konjin sama, like Konjin sama is this like evil, like bloodthirsty kami-sama who like doesn't care about like humans or anything. And it's like so sad. Like yeah, maybe they have a Artemitama side, and it's fierce and it's scary, and we have to show respect and reverence. But like don't say bad about that, because it's not respectful, right? Like it's not treating kami-sama right. So that's kind of like the important balance between it. Oh, and hello, Lupin, welcome. And hello, Nicole, welcome. Yes, Kami-sama sounds very loving and fair. Yes, yeah. At least, like for sure, the Kami-sama that like interact with people and like know people, and like they have shrines and everything. Like they understand humanity very well, and they understand like we're not perfect and we make mistakes, and like, and even some of these kami-sama were once humans themselves, like Tenjin-sama, or like, even Emperor Meiji and Emperor Shokin, like they have their own shrines, so like they understand. And now there's like infinite kami-sama, right? There's like yaoyores no kami-sama. Maybe they don't really understand humans or like humans, but for the kami-sama that do, they really do understand and they really do care for humanity, and they're not like going to be angry like all the time, like for like something that someone did and it was like a minor mistake or something, you know. And again, like tatari, again, like it's like something, a consequence of our own actions. Like it's not like I'm something like, you broke my rule, I'm gonna be like angry at you forever and I'm never gonna forget. I'm not gonna like, kami-sama doesn't hold a grudge, but the tatari will happen if you don't try to like apologize and like rectify your mistake. So it's kind of like that. Tifa-san says, it's like the people who vandalized the fox statues due to the dislike towards Inari Okami-sama. Exactly. Like, that's horrible, like, it's really bad. Like, yeah, Tifa says, people are so terrified of Inari Okami's tatari that they destroy things. Exactly. And it's like, see, that's not gonna help anything. Because if you destroy the fox statues, that's gonna cause tatari upon you, because it's like the home security system. Like you cause an offense, you break in, and it automatically comes onto you. So it's like you're not doing anything, you're just making it worse for yourself. But if you show respect to Inari Okami, you show respect to the fox messengers, there's no way like Inari Okami-sama would look at you and say like, I hate this person. Like they wouldn't do that. They would like have an affinity toward you. They would be like, oh, this person is so respectful, they're so kind. Um, you know, I like them. Like they're good. That's why even if a kami-sama has a scary aramitama, that's no reason to disrespect them and to say bad about them and to like destroy their shrines or like treat them badly. That's like completely the opposite of what we should do. And yeah, like again, like going back to Konjin sama, like that's why, like, like Ikigami Konko Daiji sama, he was like, if Konjin sama is so powerful that their tatari is like this strong in it and it's this fearful, then Konshin-sama's Nigimi-tama must be so much more powerful to bring blessings to people. So he decided to show respect and worship to Konjin-sama. And it's true, like the blessings that followed were very huge blessings and very good blessings. So it's like, like basically we have to show respect to Kami-sama, no matter like, even if we get like feel intimidated, respect and reverence goes a long way. So William says, so going back to Twitter comments, people are right that those who do weird things at the shrine will get tatari. So like I would say, like in my experience, like yeah, like people on Twitter were saying a whole bunch of stories and stuff and like their experiences. And I believe them because I've had my own experiences where like people disrespected Ininari Shrine and situations happen. But again, I don't think that's like my understanding of tatari. I don't think that's like Inari Okami someone like purposely like I'm angry and I'm gonna make these people suffer. It's again like it's more like the consequences of their actions against this like greater existence. It just like comes back to them automatically. So it's like yeah. So it's kind of like that. It's like it's literally playing with fire. Like if you play with fire and you get burnt, or your house burns down, it's like, well, like you didn't show respect to the fire. So I don't know what to say, right? So it's kind of like that. It's not the same as like the kami-sama is like actually like targeting the person. It's like the person is being dumb, or like they're not understanding how to show proper respect, and then this situation can happen. And it can be very serious, right? Because because to a kami-sama, like even death, death is just separation of your mitama no kami, your soul, from the body. And to a kami-sama, like it doesn't, it's not as impactful because it's the difference between if you're wearing a coat or if you're not wearing a coat, right? So even if you die from tatari, it's kind of like, oh well, like welcome back to Kakario, like welcome back to the hidden world. Like it's scarier for humans than it is for kami-sama. So like even death can happen because um the person doesn't understand the weight of what they're doing, and they're not understanding that the human body is very like fragile in certain circumstances. So yeah, like that can occur from tatari. Or in other cases, like their house burned down, or in other cases, they had like a whole like series of illnesses. And when I say illness, like I don't mean like like one person caught the flu and then everyone else caught the flu, because that's normal, you know. When I say like illness, like a weird illness or like a mysterious series of illnesses, it can be like usually that's from like a spiritual root, and it might not be tatari always, but it could be. So like that's what I'm trying to say, right? Like every situation is unique and complicated, so you have to ask like the right person to kind of like untangle what actually happened and like what is the circumstances around your situation, and hopefully try to like resolve it before the serious consequences come. So like if you triggered a tatari and like suddenly like all these things start happening to you, like you get a series of like weird illnesses, or like you minorly escape like huge accidents, or like it's just one thing after the other. You could consult with like either like here like toritsugi, or like other people go to do a purification ceremony at the shrine and like apologize to kami-sama for anything that they might have done, or they leave special offerings at their kamidana and like apologize. So it's kind of like it's like a process of figuring out how to undo a tatari or undo an offense. But usually the people usually the people who do tatari, they don't care. Like they don't think about kami-sama, or they don't think about like what they might have done, and then that's when it leads to like really big tragedies. So there was kind of this famous story. Um, I think it was Haneda Airport, and they moved the Inari shrine without permission, and like all of these accidents started happening like immediately after that, where like construction workers were dying on the job, and people were getting sick, and like all of this like crazy stuff, like one thing after the other started happening. Like in English you might call it like a pharaoh's curse, but it's like kami-sama's tatari. And then finally, like they realized, like, oh, we shouldn't have moved the Inari Shrine without permission. And then they kind of reinstated like the Tori Gate on the original place of the shrine at Haneda Airport. And then they established Anamori Inari Jinja, which is very close to the airport. And then everything was kind of like resolved because they showed respect to Inari Okami-sama. So it's kind of like that kind of situation, um where it's like yeah, like we have to show respect, but like, and like tatari can happen, but you can't like start saying bad about Inari Okami-sama, or like hating Inari Okami-sama, or like any kami-sama really, just because of that, because like again, that's not respectful, right? It's not showing the proper reverence, and it's making people distant from kami-sama. It's making them not want to interact with kami-sama at all, because they're scared of the tatari, and that's not good, right? Like I heard people who say like, I don't go to Fushimi Inari Taisha, I don't go to Inari shrines because I don't wanna accidentally cause tatari or something like that. But it doesn't matter, because you can accidentally cause tatari anyway from like any kami-sama, and it's bad. So like it would be better to have a connection to kami-sama and show respect and reverence. So like if something does happen, then the kami-sama you show respect to can like vouch for you, like like tell the other kami-sama like this person is, it didn't mean it, they're a good person. um let's clear the tatari from them. Let's oharai, let's purify this bad like energy or like aura around them, So it's kind of like that. um but it's very complicated. Like even most Japanese people don't really like understand this whole thing, and like only a few priests really as well like really understand it deeper. A majority of priests are still kind of like in the like general person mindset, and I don't even think this is like a Japanese thing. I think, or like a Shinto thing. I think it's like a human thing, because like humans kind of like they kind of like that if a person does something wrong, then like a deity or like a higher power will like like strike lightning on them and like punish them, like, oh, you did something wrong, I'm gonna punish you. Like I think people really like that because I've seen in every single religion, where like God will smite you because you did something bad. And it's like, and I think it's kind of cute, and I kind of understand it too, because there's some people in the world I wish like would be smitten, like a lightning bolt thrown at them, you know. uh, I'm just joking, but but yeah, like I think just like it's a human thing that people like that concept of like divine punishment or like retribution, because all of us kind of want justice in the world. Like we all have a like most people have a sense of justice. So when there's injustice or something bad happened and they don't face the consequences, we kind of hope for like a divine being or like a being greater than us to like keep the balance and have this kind of justice. um, but honestly, in my experience, it's way more complicated than that. It's not as simple as like, Kami-san will just like strike lightning on the person. Like the understanding of tatari and the understanding of batsu and the understanding of like suffering, it's not simple at all. It's extremely complicated, and every situation is unique, and every action might not even be understandable to human sense of justice. So there's a lot of things to consider for each situation. It's not very straightforward as we would like to imagine it would be. So basically, like the end result is to just show reverence and respect to Kami-sama, and appreciation, apology, requests when we pray. And then usually from that everything kind of sorts itself out. We don't have to worry too much about like these details as deeply, because the core of everything, the core of all this complicated sort of situations that can happen, is if you have a sincere and respectful heart towards Kami-sama. That's what matters the most of all, and that's what will resolve any issues. So yeah. Let's see. Alex says, when we went to Fushimi last year, a French couple were poking a frog near the path. My wife, who is an Inari Sama Sukeisha, flew into her French language rage. Tatari isn't always needed. Oh my gosh, yes, exactly. Yes, she told them like, don't do that's like disrespectful. Don't do that. I'm glad she did though. It's good to say something, right? There were people on Twitter saying that even like tatari would affect people who are standby, like they don't do anything. They just like are standby effect, like they just watch and they don't stop the person. I don't know about that. I don't know if that would go that far, but I think it's just a way to have people to like like not be afraid to like step in and like stop someone who is doing something clearly disrespectful. So it's good that she did that. I'm really glad she did. Vadim San says, I like Konko Kyo because Tenchika no Kami is not petty and not sending things like Tatari, even if people do something terrible, and he is the absolute love. As Shirakami Sensei said, even if people hate Konko Faith, you should pray for their well being and be nice to them. It's not that serious. Exactly, exactly. Like that's why I feel safe with Konko Kyo too, like Tenchika no Kami-sama, because in like overall like Shinto and like even just gods of the world, like I know not everyone likes humans and I get them. I get them. Like, trust me. I don't always like humans either, even though I'm a human. Um, but that's why, like, I know that like I could be susceptible at any time to like just a god being like, this girl sucks. Like, I hate her. Like maybe something bad happens to me. But that's a good thing though, because like with Tenchi no Kami-sama, like they really care for like humanity, and they really care for all of existence, and they want to keep things harmonized and balanced, and in a good like in a good ecosystem. I don't know how to explain it, like both physical side and spiritual side. Like Kami-sama, Tenchi no Kami-sama kind of keeps that balance and keeps that harmony. So I feel like comfortable like praying to them, and like knowing that they will like, even if I cause some kind of offense, that they would like make sure I'm okay. Like they would be able to like vouch for me to like the other Kami-sama, be like, no, like I know Olivia. Like I know Vadim, like trust me, like they're okay, they don't mean it. And the other Kami-sama like, okay, well, I won't do anything bad. So I'm really thankful for like we're able to know Tenchi no Kami-sama, and like know that they care about us and we can rely on them without worrying about like specific like offenses or like causing something bad. you know and as well, having that connection means that like in our relationships with the other unseen world beings, or like even ancestors or other kami-sama, other deities, I don't, whatever may be in the world. Having a good relationship with Tenchi no Kami-sama means that like you don't have to worry about that sort of thing as much, like, or like you can just feel relaxed, because you know that you're being sincere, and you know that you're being respectful, and you're having a true heart, and Kami-sama sees that, and they can keep like they can explain that to other beings and like other existences, and like keep the harmony balance. So it's like it's good that way, I think. I don't know, it's really nice to me. So yeah. Nicole says, what should I read to learn more about Kami-sama, and how can I connect to Kami-sama? I apologize for my questions because I'm new to learning about Shinto. Oh, that's a good question. Please don't apologize. Thank you so much for asking. So it's very complicated to answer specifically, but we do have like, I think the best way to learn honestly is through experience. I have like a reading list and like a beginner's guide, but really like what really helps you to understand is through experience. So we also have like groups online, like through Discord. We have like a general like Shinto topic Discord, and we also have the Konko Faith server, because I'm a Konko Faith priestess, and we have some people who are Kongo Faith because it's more common overseas. And like, sorry, I was about to like sneeze. Sorry. But if you want to join the communities or see the starter guide, I can link it to you here. I think I have the starter guide. I mean, sorry, I think the starter guide has the servers, but if it doesn't, wait, sorry. Oh my goodness, hold on. Slash beginner. Okay, sorry. I made this. It needs work, honestly. I made this a long time ago because I needed to take a hiatus, so I tried to make some kind of guide to help people when like I was kind of like like dealing with stuff. So there's this guide here that can help you like get orientated with everything. And then if you want to join the communities we have, like to kind of like see how it is with other people, I think. Oh wait, hold on. I'm just gonna grab the links directly from Discord. I think it'll be easier. But yeah. So sorry. I kind of rushed with my phone, and I don't have a table, so I'm just holding it in my arm. Tifa says, I understand, but yeah. Oh, you got it. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Sorry. For some reason, the chat automatically translates to Japanese, and it translated your "I got it" to "wakata," and I thought you meant like you understood, but I'm like, wait, no. But yeah, so there's a lot to learn. Like again, like it's all about experience, and like how that shows you a lot, because before I moved to Japan, um, I had this like idea of Shinto and like Kongo faith from like my experiences, but also from books and like reading a lot. But then, and I thought I had an understanding, like a really good understanding. But then I came here and then I realized like the understanding I had was like this much, and then like everything else was like this much. So then so then I'm like trying to comprehend how to put that all together, and then share it with others, like in an easy to understand way because of what the experience taught me. But it's very hard. So it just you just need time and experience to help you through things, to understanding. Oh, Nicole says, thank you. Is Konko Faith affirming of LGBTQ people? Yes, it is. So like the faith itself, like there's nothing like official, but because it's Japan, because like what I mean by that is like Japan doesn't really be so direct about everything, in terms of like social issues, I guess you could say. But there is the Konko LGBT Association, which is an association of ministers and believers who are LGBTQ. So there's like some ministers are like trans, some believers are gay or lesbian, and all of them come together and made an association. And that association has been officially recognized by the head shrine of Kongo Faith. So I would say it's pretty affirming. And of course, there's other Konko shrines that have done same-sex marriages, and even me myself, I'm non-binary, and I consider myself like bisexual, pansexual. I don't know how you would describe it, but like I'm attracted to like anyone of any gender. So, and I'm a priest, so like there was never any problem about that. And honestly, in Japan, like like I feel like people don't really like they don't mind as much. Like I don't know how to explain it, but like as long as you're like fitting in Japanese culture, like everyone's gonna accept you. So I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of weird. But yeah, like as long as you're kind of like trying to follow the rules and like the manners of Japan and like all the cultural things, like it doesn't matter to people that I'm like non-binary. They're like okay, like they don't say anything. They just care about that I'm like following manners, following etiquette, following rules of Japan. That's what matters a lot here. But otherwise, it's like you know. Actually, at other shrines too. Like I've seen like Miko-san who are like trans women, and I know a priestess who's also like in another shrine who's like a trans woman. So yeah, there's like people all over. So you don't have to worry about it. So it's good. But yeah, yeah. And thank you, Tifa. Yes. Okay, sorry. Let me grab the link. Wait. Okay. Okay. So this is the link to the general one. The link is funny, and then this is the one to the Konko one. So the Konko one is all ages. But we had to make the Shinto one like over 18 because it's more popular. Like popular as in like more people know, like are aware of Shinto as a kind of world religion kind of thing, but they don't really know the specific faiths as much, like Konko faith or Inari faith as much. Well, Inari is kind of popular from anime, but like if you don't know anime, then maybe not as much. But like the specific faiths are a little bit more like inner, but like Shinto as a whole is more like knowledge. I don't know. Sorry, I don't know what I'm saying, but like Shinto as a whole is more like understood. So a lot more people join that one, and the people who join that aren't always really good people. So we had like incidents in the past with like really strange people like trying to like target and harass minors, and it was really creepy. So we're just like, okay, let's just like lock it down, keep the resources open, but like the chat area, just keep it like all age, not all ages, sorry, adults only, so we can avoid the weirdness. But yeah. But yeah, so I wanted to talk more, but I don't have time. But anyway, but there'll be more chances to talk next time. I'll be live again on Tuesday. So we have more to talk about. More we can talk about more. Which one is the Konko one? Because I'm currently 17. Oh, it's the second one. The DFDMBJ61. Sorry. Yes, and welcome. Oh my gosh, sorry that I didn't realize, but welcome. Yes, it's good to meet you. Let's see. Yeah, that one is more like that one's more regulated, and there's not as many people. Like, there's a lot of people, but it's not like the Shinto one where it's like like everyone's coming, you know. So that one's pretty gets pretty weird sometimes. I was gonna say a funny incident, but it's not like it was too weird to say on stream. I'm gonna say it. But Tifa remembers, and a few other members here. Um, but yeah, just don't worry about. It's better to avoid like creepy people like that till later on. When you're older, you can kind of deal with it. You're like, I've seen a lot of the world. Like, I know this guy's creepy. But yeah, and also legally too. Like, if someone's a minor, like the people who run the server, like the mods and myself, we feel responsible to make sure like they're okay, like they're safe. So we also don't want to like put anyone in danger or like in harm's way. So we try to keep it like more organized like that. David says, "I was there, Gandalf. I was there 3,000 years ago." Yes, I remember. Exactly. Yeah. The internet's a weird place. I'm sure you already know that the internet's a weird place, but just for like the sake of like the mods and like me who are trying to keep the space a safe space, we wanted to like it's like, okay, we have responsibility of the space. We don't want to make it like open season to like weirdness on the internet. Like, we want it to be a kind of more like secure space, and like if anything happens, it'll be with other adults in the space, not like a minor and adult. So that's kind of why we try to keep it safe, like that. Like, just, it's better to wait till you get old enough to join. But it makes me sad. It makes me really sad. Um. Okay, so it's 109. Okay, so there's one more thing I wanted to say today, but I guess that'll be like a preview for the next time. But then what I wanted to talk about from today was like going into the topic of people, what. So we see a lot of bad things happen in the world, right? And we see a lot of injustices and horrible things, and a lot of people wonder like, why don't the deities or higher powers do anything about it? And I remember recently I had a friend who kind of like sent me a big message, and they were like, I pray to Kami-sama every day. Like, I rely on Kami-sama. I know that they have the power to change things and help people, but why do all these bad things keep happening? And I understand their frustration and their sadness so much. And there have been times in the past I asked myself that too, because it's like, if like, I know Kami-sama are not all powerful, but if they are powerful enough, why does these things keep happening? Like why do these world leaders have power for so long? Like, why don't they get into an accident or something? Or like, why how did they even get to power in the first place if they were such bad people? Or like, there's a lot of like messed up things in the world where it's like, Kami-sama should have the ability to prevent it, because it's not like they need omnipotence to stop it, but it doesn't get stopped. So it's like, why? It's like, what is the reason for this? And it's something I thought about for a long time, but it requires more time to talk about, and I don't want to rush this topic because it's very important. So if you guys have time, please join me on my next stream on Tuesday. We can talk about it, or you can just watch the recording too, and I'll try to articulate it as best as I possibly can, because it's a really important topic. I don't want to rush, or I don't want to like, you know explain improperly or something, or be tired like I am now and then not being able to communicate the way I want to. So I want to be like ready for that stream and like talk about it, because I think it's really important. But I kind of wanted to go into that because it's like if kamisama can do tatari and they can cause people's houses to burn down, they can cause people to die and like fall ill, then why doesn't this tatari happen to really bad people in the world, right? So that's kind of like where we're gonna jump into the next time, and kind of like where I used to think about that too. I was like why though? Like why does this like random like construction worker die from the tatari, and then like this corrupt evil person doesn't die, right? So it's like, how do we bridge that conflict or like problem? So that's what I want to talk about next time. But yeah, so for now it's 1:13, so I'll end the stream for today and get started to do the monthly ceremony. If you are able to join, thank you so much. If not, please don't worry. And yeah, thank you so much for coming today. I know it was very short, but I appreciate it very much. And thank you for the comments and good questions. And if you have any more questions or comments, feel free to like contact me. I think my email or other social media is on my YouTube page, so you can check it out. Yeah. So yeah, thank you so much for coming, and nice to meet the new faces. So see you next time. Yes, to be continued next time. Thank you, Tifa. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Vadim-san, Nicole, Rai, Lupin too. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Okay, see you. Bye-bye.